Well, welcome back. I'm Kris for VYPE TV Playoff Edition going into round 4. I'm here with David McNabb. David, it's getting down to the wire now.
Yeah, we got 2 more weeks. I mean, it's great games. This last week we had some really good games, and I've always thought that semifinals get a short shrift in history. I mean, some of the best games I've ever seen in all sports are the semifinal rounds.
Absolutely. Well, and we had some things happen this weekend with the weather that we're not accustomed to, with teams having to play on Monday and teams scrambling to find stadiums that were playable. And now you have a situation as we get into Division I for 5A. We've got the matchup that everybody wanted, DeSoto and Allen. And you've got the additional intrigue with Allen being able to play their game on Saturday and thus rest Sunday and Monday, while DeSoto had to play on Monday night. And they lose two days of rest, and they lose 2 days of preparation. And so that's going to play into the story of how this plays out with Allen and DeSoto. Give me your thoughts on that.
It's tricky because kids that play every day, so they have the energy, but what happens is, and they're going to look okay, and they'll certainly be up for the game. They're going to have tons of adrenaline, but it's when it's a close game, and DeSoto has found itself in some pretty close games. It's that one play where they don't quite have that burst of energy, and Kyler Murray turns the corner on them, and all of a sudden the avalanche for Allen starts. So it's sort of a good talking point, but it's really going to be a step or two one way or the other. And I do think DeSoto is at a little bit of a disadvantage just on the recovery standpoint.
Well, and with DeSoto, Allen over the last few weeks, they've been able to rest their kids and
Right.
late in the game. DeSoto has not been able to do that. They've had to play their kids because they've had nail biters for 3 weeks in a row now, and you wonder, does that play into it? I guess the flip side of that is they've kept their edge for weeks because their games have come down to having to make plays in the fourth quarter to win it, and Allen's have been over by then, so you could say that's advantage DeSoto. So, I mean, who knows? But in looking at this matchup, it's a neat matchup to look at because I think it always starts with the quarterback.
Right.
And both of these teams have exceptional quarterbacks who can beat you with their arm, they can beat you with their feet. They're clutch players. They make plays when they have to make plays.
Yeah, being able to stop Kyler Murray, taken away, I don't think you're going to be able to take away his passing. So what you have to decide is which one you're going to try to take away, and they'll probably try and take away his running by putting spies in there, but that exposes your defensive backs to more coverage. He's got a strong arm and he's very accurate, but I don't know Allen's speed at receiver, even if they have a little extra time. And DeSoto puts you in the same spot, although it's a little bit easier to say we're going to make Desmond White pass the ball as opposed to take away the run, and we're going to make him pass it. So, but what he has are really good receivers that can get open. That I don't know if Allen has the depth in the secondary. And they had 2 linebackers go out with ankle injuries early, and again they may play, but anybody who's had a sprained ankle, I mean, it's going to be that step or that cut that maybe they're just a little bit late on. Well, all of a sudden that's that yard difference in the angle. So, and that's sort of the intricacy of the game.
Right. Well, and I think it's going to be interesting too to get a defensive stop in this game, or multiple defensive stops in this game. It's going to be huge because these teams are going to score points. The offenses are just too good. And I think both defenses are good as well, but I just don't think you're going to stop either one of these offenses and make them punt or turn it over multiple times in a game. So any stop that you get, any turnover that you get, I think those are going to be huge as well. And I talked to a college coach this week that scouts this area, and we talked a little bit about Allen. And I mentioned, and you and I have talked about it before, they don't have the elite athlete at running back. They don't have elite athletes at receiver. But his take on it was, he said, well, they do have the elite athlete at quarterback, and he said, anytime you run the spread, if you run it precisely, that's as dangerous or more dangerous than saying, we've got elite athletes. We don't always run it precisely, but we've got elite athletes. He said, give me precise over the athlete every time. He said, that's why Highland Park wins. That's why Allen's winning this year. DeSoto, on the flip side, I don't know that they're as quite as precise as Allen. They've got better athletes on the flanks and in the backfield than Allen does. So I just really think this sets up to be a pretty epic matchup.
Yeah, I would be surprised if it ended up as Allen dominated as it was last year, but I still would pick Allen. Talking to Spring Westfield, which is a terrific team, their coach Corby Meekins was, we didn't play that bad. They're just that good.
That's good, yeah. Well, and I think, and see if you agree with me on this. I think Pearland's will probably win and face the winner of Allen DeSoto. But I think the Allen DeSoto winner wins state.
And I think that's a natural thought, but a couple years ago there was a pretty powerful Trinity team that played Pearland when they had Justin Garrison, who was a blur at running back. And everyone thought that he was real fast, but in the 16th game of the year he'd probably be wore down, plus he's playing Trinity, and they looked really good. So that state final game is really difficult to predict. Those